Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, but we're back. Had some tech issues and other non-related issues, but we're back and I have Alex with me.
Hi. I was gonna say, really, you're back.
Well, this is your first time being here, but me and Alex have been working together for creating content for a while now, and you've never been on my channel before.
Nope.
I don't upload enough on my channel. But today, I wanted to do a review of the Whole Cake Island arc now that that's over, because I really enjoyed the arc and I haven't been able to upload reactions lately, so let's try that. And I wanted Alex to be with me because he is the one who got me into One Piece. He's the one who sat me down and forced me to get through the early arcs and got me into it.
They were good. It's a good series.
Some of the early arcs were questionable. First, just blanket question. Just generally, would you say you liked the arc or not?
Yeah, I honestly, I really enjoyed the arc.
Yeah, simple yes or no would be a hard yes. I know a lot of people really had a lot of problems with it. And I did, but I found that every time I encountered a problem that was how do I feel about this? Do I really, I'm starting to fall off with my enjoyment of this chapter. Something else would happen, and it would be I'm back. It draws me back. Particularly, a lot of the big moments were really, really, really well done.
Stuff with the wedding.
Yeah, everything. Of the main Straw Hats, Sanji was never my favorite. I never disliked Sanji. I love all of them. Let's just be clear about that. But this arc really brought me on board the Sanji train.
I can definitely see that. There was a lot that I enjoyed about this arc, and there wasn't that many things that really pulled me out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know, I watch a lot of, reactions and reviews and things like that. A lot of people had issues with this arc and dropped it over, the pacing and things like that. But there was a lot of good things in this arc that I feel a lot of people kind of either overlooked or just missed out on or didn't really care for.
Then it absolutely did have pacing issues.
Yeah.
That I won't argue with. But we had a lot of important developments. I think a thing that people were ignoring a lot in this arc, as it was going on, is that this is not a take down a Yonko arc. It's a setup arc.
Yeah.
We're not, we were never going to defeat Big Mom in Whole Cake Island.
Well,
we're going to see her later,
yeah.
And that's going to be...
Yeah, I feel like what a lot of people kept comparing this arc to was, people classified it as a rescue arc because that's what we were here to do. We were here to rescue Sanji and then go.
Mm-hmm.
But what people compared it to was the Enies Lobby arc, where we were there to rescue Robin and then go, but in the process had to take down Rob Lucci.
Right.
But Rob Lucci is a different type of villain compared to
Rob
Big
Lucci
Mom.
is not Big Mom.
Yeah.
And that was a great arc, and I understand why people would kind of want an arc like it again. But it also just fundamentally is too different of a situation.
Yeah.
And we already did more than we were planning to do. One of the strongest points of the arc I felt was in the first half, Brook.
Yeah, Brook came in surprisingly clutch this arc. That's the weird thing about Brook is he joined and then we had the time skip.
Mm-hmm.
He joined.
Yeah, his arc was one of the last ones before the time skip.
And even in the arc that he joined, he didn't win any real big fights. He tried. He did fight, his shadow, but he ended up losing that fight, and Zoro won it for him. He didn't really pull his weight, but then again, he didn't have much time to. Post time skip, there hasn't been a whole lot of attention to Brook or really any of the Straw Hats that came with Luffy to Whole Cake Island. but Brook, out of everybody, you know, I mean, maybe less so than Luffy, but Brook pulled his weight
Oh yeah.
this arc.
He got the poneglyph. Like, he got the poneglyph. He sassed Big Mom.
Yeah.
He broke Mother Caramel's picture.
Yeah.
Like, Brook got a lot of wins in this arc. And,
Yeah.
like, Brook was one of, like, probably towards the bottom of my list of favorite Straw Hats. And once again, this arc pulled him a lot higher as far as, like, how much I love them.
I enjoyed the bonding between Brook and Pedro a lot.
Yeah. And I also I made a video a while back on like why I feel like Oda's resistance to killing characters has a negative impact on the series sometimes. And so as much as it hurts, I'm glad Pedro appears to actually be dead.
You're not alone in that. There's a lot of people.
Was it
who
like
are.
I think because I watch a few other live reactors. I think Roger Space is the other one that like he really wanted Pedro to actually be dead.
Pedro's death completely changes how we feel about the new world and the story going forward.
Right.
You know, now allies aren't safe. Like, even the Straw Hats might not be safe at this point. We don't know. One thing that I liked about the arc that I didn't, I noticed a lot of people didn't like, a lot of people really hated this, was the fact that we didn't get to see what everybody was capable of. And I felt like that might play... It could be a good thing later down the line. It could be a bad thing later down the line, but I think that it's a good thing that, you know, Smoothie, for being one of the commanders, didn't do anything. We didn't get to see what Snack could do. We didn't get to see what Oven or Daifuku or any of the other siblings could do.
Right.
We barely got to see what Big Mom could do. And that might end up working in our favor, because when it does happen, you know, this wasn't the arc to take down Big Mom or the Big Mom Pirates. Therefore, why would they display everything they could do?
Right. Give away all the tricks and secrets and like...
Yeah. Because then, you know, at that point, nothing can surprise you. I don't think that we're going to get any sort of significant time skip, in which case, like, Katakuri gets a power boost or something like that. Like, I feel like if we do meet Katakuri again, he's gonna be the same old Katakuri that we just got done dealing with. Like, how stronger can he get in, like, let's say a couple of months?
Right.
You know.
Though that is something that I'm really looking forward to if we do get it, is a proper like Luffy versus Katakuri part 2, where maybe this time Luffy like legitimately takes him down. Like that would be cool, because that's one of the big things with like Luffy's bounty increase at the end, and like Morgan's story that he wrote in the newspaper about him. Like it is lacking in a lot of details that, like, of course it is, because Morgan's wasn't there for everything.
Yeah.
Like, he was there for, like, some of the big events, and he was there for Brule saying that Luffy defeated Katakuri. But, like, the only reason Luffy defeated Katakuri is because he let him.
Right.
But the rest of the world doesn't know that. And that's something that's going to be really interesting to me, is how the perception of Luffy changes with, like, the rest of the world now. Because of all the details that were omitted or that Morgan's just didn't know.
I don't think that that's going to change too much in terms of the perception of the world. I feel like what might have a bigger impact is, like, the perception of, like, an individual. Like, let's say someone, I don't know, let's say Rob Lucci or someone from Kaido's crew. Mm-hmm. Jack. Let's throw Jack into this. Let's say Jack goes up against Luffy and just completely dominates him. That might be a little bit surprising. Like, he might instantly think something might have been going on for him to take down 2 of Big Mom's commanders.
Right.
And yet he can't, like, go toe-to-toe against someone like Jack. Like, there's... The world is probably gonna just see Luffy as, like, a threat. You know, hands down. We'll get to see what the world thinks because we just entered the Reverie arc.
Yes, which I'm so excited for. We'll get to that in a minute.
But yeah, for the most part, like, Luffy's bounty just might mean that more powerful people come after him.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that has anything to do with, like, how other people perceive Luffy. I think that, if anything, they just see him as more of a threat. And the Straw Hats in general as more of a threat.
The last thing that I really, like, wanted to talk about in this was, because the last bit of the arc really drew attention to Luffy and, like, everything that's happening with Luffy. His bounty increases, relationship with Katakuri, and, like, all of that. But this was a Sanji arc. So the one thing I wanted to talk about was Sanji and, like, how we felt about Sanji's character arc this arc, and everything we learned about him and his family and everything like that, because I feel like it was all super interesting, and it's something that people kind of fell off of, like, caring about towards the end of the arc.
Sanji's character arc was kind of odd in this arc, because at first it started off, and I feel like Oda nailed it out of the park with the setup of his family and the relationship between him and Pudding, and his family's, like, opposition to everything that Sanji was about. His cooking, his caring for people. They perceived him as weak. Like, that whole thing was set up really excellently, but I feel like a lot of it was either unresolved or was just resolved too quickly. Because
I do feel like that's where part of the pacing issues came from.
Yeah, like, especially towards the end of the arc where, the Germa protected Sanji and Luffy. That whole thing, it felt like it was them accepting Sanji as a sibling. Because they were making fun of him, but they were also protecting him and gave him
learned later they gave him a raid suit.
Yeah.
And,
and that's, like, to me, that was their way of showing affection. Like, we know that Reiju has emotions, but the other siblings don't. The brothers don't.
Yeah, this is the only way that they really have to be like, yeah, you're all right.
Yeah, it's like they're defending him, and they're, like, actually trying to take care of him and trying to make him stronger, giving him, their technology.
Right.
It's their way of showing affection, but we kind of missed that entire character arc for them. Like, as far as we know, he showed up, he saved them, he left, and then later down the line they repaid the favor and saved him back. But there's, like, no big resolution in their story arc. The only person with resolution is Reiju. Because we knew up front she cared for Sanji.
Right. She, like, helped him escape and, like...
Yeah. And we knew at the very end this was her yet again watching her little brother go off to safety.
Right.
With Luffy and everybody else. Like, her entire story arc was kind of resolved. Everything with Judge, not at all. Everything
we talk about Judge and, like, him yelling out, like, everything he hates about Sanji and Luffy. Just, like, why did you yell out all of your good qualities? I loved that so much. And this is kind of what I mean about, like, every time the arc started to lose me with something else got me back.
Yeah.
Like,
I know we were kind of... there was a format, but I feel like we've kind of gone all over the place with this a little bit.
It happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to our podcast.
Yeah.
There was one thing, the side characters, I feel like, didn't get enough shine in this arc. Like, at all.
Like, what side characters? Like, which one, like, what did you want to see?
Well, for a Sanji arc, we were really, really, really focused on Luffy.
Yeah, and that's, like, in the beginning, it was, like, definitively a Sanji arc.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's the thing. They were setting up all of the things that we had to go up against. You know, Big Mom's family, the Germa, uh, the commanders, getting Poneglyph, and leaving. They set everything up. Also Beige. They set everything up for us to deal with this through Sanji.
yeah.
You know, Luffy was just there to kind of learn the islands and learn like where's what and things like that.
You're talking about something I have a little bit of a problem with. Like, that I just remembered, like, just now. Luffy's tooth.
I need
Luffy's tooth.
to if you're upset about that, wait until after the video. I'm gonna show you the actual like anime clip. It'll make you even more upset.
But, like, because that could have been, like, because Luffy's tooth stayed gone when Sanji kicked him in the face, like, kicked his tooth out. Like, his tooth stayed gone for so long just to lead up to, like, a gag. But that could have been such a cool, like, an interesting dramatic moment when they, like, got back to Wano.
That's what I assumed that it was going to be. Because one thing that always kind of stuck in my mind when it came to the crew's relation was when Usopp left and fought Luffy. Right when they were about to leave Water 7, and Luffy was gonna go and get Usopp, and Zoro made that stand and said, like, he disrespected the captain, you know, you can't let this slide unless he comes back and, like, grovels for forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go and get him, you know, I'm leaving the crew. Like, if my captain lets anyone disrespect him like that, like, I'm not gonna serve under him, you know, serve under somebody like that. That instantly made me think of this moment where, yes, he did it to, like, shoo him away. It was like throwing rocks at a dog or something to make it run off, like,
Right.
into the wild. Like, yes, he kicked him to drive the point that this is kind of important, you know, go off, do your own thing, just forget about him. But that could have been a dramatic moment between, like, Luffy and Zoro and Sanji if, you know, Luffy comes back missing a tooth. Oh, what happened?
Right.
Sanji kicked me in the face. Like, that could have been a really, really dramatic moment that, you know, yeah, it was a gag, but, I don't know. For Brook, it made sense, because Brook's been doing this, like, way back when he was introduced.
Yeah.
But Luffy's tooth is magic.
Yeah.
But no, with the side characters, like, Beige didn't really do anything. He showed up, made a lion, shot a rocket, and he turned into a castle, but then, like, that literally lasted, like, 3 pages. He turned into that giant, like, castle mech, and then instantly, like, oh, my cannons don't work. Let me just turn back to normal then. And was just gone. Carrot and Chopper did nothing. Carrot transformed for that one.
Yeah, she did something for, like, a couple panels.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love Carrot, by the way.
I do too. Carrot for next
I want
Straw Hat.
Carrot, yeah. I want Carrot to be part of the crew. I would love Reiju to be part of the crew, but that's not happening.
Maybe the Grand Fleet. The Germa did get kicked out of
They did.
the kingdom.
They could be part of the Grand Fleet. I don't think they will be, but they could be.
Maybe if they, like, usurp Judge or something.
Which they might, because, like, Judge, like, on
He was
Whole
crying.
Cake Chateau, like, when they were all, like, stuck to their seats, yeah, he, like, broke down crying, and they were all like, what's with you? Why are you being so weak and, like, and pathetic? And, like,
Yeah.
so I could totally see them usurping him. Things that we still need to know. Peckham's. Literally the last time we saw him,
Yeah, they were about
they were
to.
about to gouge out his eyes, and then nothing. Nothing.
That was.
And literally
Yeah.
just everyone who's left on Whole Cake Island right now. Like, the Germa's still there.
Jinbei and the
Jinbei
fishmen.
stayed behind with all the fishmen. And, like, I know Jinbei's gonna show back up on Wano, but, like, that's
Yeah.
gonna be really stressful waiting for him.
When I first knew that the crew was splitting up back in Dressrosa, I had initially thought that, like, the moment we caught back up with Sanji, something really bad happened. Like, they got attacked by a Yonko or another supernova or something. Something happened, and Sanji was going to be, like, missing a limb or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was that, like, roulette wheel of Big Mom's for Jinbei to leave her crew. And I thought, you know, maybe Jinbei's going to, like, lose an arm or something over this. And he's still there. Big Mom is fine. We all know Big Mom is fine. She was in one of the last chapters.
Right.
Big Mom is fine.
Yeah, she's like reacting to the news, to like the news article, like, when did I lose?
I didn't
Like,
lose.
when
You
exactly?
all ran. Yeah, it was. It's a stressful situation, but I'm just kind of wondering what the ramifications of this experience to Jinbei are. Like, if he comes back, I don't think he'll come back unscathed. It's like either Jinbei or some fishmen or even the Germa are dead. Something had to have happened, like. But what?
The last thing that I want to just real quick is just bring up the Reverie, because that's the next thing coming up. It's like what this has led into.
Yep. Right on the heels of it.
And just certainly, like, what are we looking forward to in the Reverie? Because I personally looking forward to all of the Luffy fanboys and fangirls getting together. That's going to be cool. We just learned in the last chapter
Yeah, 904.
that the Revolutionary Army is for sure going to be there and declare war on the Celestial Dragons. And I'm so excited to see Sabo again. I love Sabo.
I wonder how all the, like, Luffy fans are gonna react to the Revolutionary Army. It's like, wait, aren't you his brother? Aren't you his dad?
I want a moment in, like, it might not happen this arc, it might not happen in the next arc, but I want a moment where, like, Luffy, Dragon, and Garp are all in the same place at the same time. Maybe Garp, like, slapping his grandson and his son across the head, like on the back of the head at the same time. Like,
we might get Garp and Dragon in the Reverie. That we might get. I never thought that Luffy would end up at the Reverie. I felt like if we were going to do a Reverie arc, it would have had to have been a Straw Hatless arc.
mm-hmm.
So the closest we get are, like, Straw Hat supporters. So we get the Revolutionaries. We get
You get Vivi and Rebecca.
yeah, we get
I
the
miss
Alabasta
Vivi.
Kingdom and the Dressrosa Kingdom. He also gets the Prudence Kingdom with Elisabello and the Tontatas, like, everybody. What was it, Drum Island?
There's literally going to be a meeting of Luffy fans.
Yeah. This is basically like half a
Like-
convention. This
like
is half
how-
a One Piece convention.
So yeah, that's the big thing that I'm like looking forward to, of how is this going to go, especially in the wake of Luffy's new bounty, and like clearly the government seeing him as that much more of a threat.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, the biggest thing with the Reverie that I want to know how it's going to play out is how are the revolutionaries going to react to the Straw Hat fans and vice versa. Because the Straw Hats were always, like, you know, different compared to all the other pirates out there. And they have helped out all of these countries, you know, exponentially. A lot of these countries would have been demolished if not for Luffy
right.
helping out the kingdom directly. And with, like, Fishman Island being Straw Hat territory now, a lot of this stuff, like, it does make you wonder, you know, how these kingdoms might react if the revolutionaries attack and try to overthrow, the celestial dragons, they might join in. For all we know, you have like Luffy who goes up against like the evil pirates. You have his dad who's trying to like overthrow the celestial dragons.
Right.
Everything might work out in a way where you get like this massive war between, all of the kingdoms, and all the kingdoms, all the pirates, like the Yonko, Supernova, everybody might be going to war for one thing or another. But this might be the introduction to like, I think it was Doflamingo who said the Throne Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be like the introduction to the Throne Wars.
We didn't talk about pudding, but I don't know if either of us cares that much about pudding.
No.
So,
Nope,
for anyone
nope.
who's about to go in the comments, like, what did you think about pudding? No one cares, is the answer to that in this room. But yeah, that was our jumbled mess of a review of the Whole Cake Island arc. Really enjoyed it. Had a few problems, but all in all, it was a great arc. A lot of really, really good setup. They're really looking forward to. Very much looking forward to the Reverie.
I gotta ask you one more question. What would you rate this arc?
Would I rate this arc?
Yeah.
Out of like what?
How about 10?
Out of 10, I would probably put it at... Because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd probably put it at like an 8. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but not enough to like... It's not a perfect arc.
No. I don't know. I might have to go a little bit higher than an 8. I might have to go with like an 8.5.
Which I think might be one of the higher ratings that this arc is going to be getting in the fandom. So once again, I don't understand like how much hate this arc got.
I kind of do. There wasn't that many big fights. Formula-wise, this was a very different arc than most of the other arcs. But then again...
But so was Sabati, so was Marineford. So...
Yeah, and
those are like some of the most loved arcs in the series.
Yeah, but I feel like they're loved because they led to something. So I feel like once we get the payout of Big Mom, like once
it's going to be remembered well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did and you want to see more from me, you can hit that subscribe button. If you have something else to say about the arc, if you want to yell at us or agree with us, whatever you want to do, you can leave a comment down below. Thumbs up the video, whatever, or thumbs down it. People can do that too. You're allowed. If you like me and Alex together, we have a podcast. We have a YouTube channel. The Dead Lounge. We haven't really uploaded on the YouTube channel that much. We focused a lot more on like the podcast and streaming. We're also on Twitch.
Yeah.
But I'll leave links to all of that in the description if you want to see more from us. So, that is that.
That is that indeed.
And hopefully I will see you guys in the next video.
Bye.
You stole my bye.